Let's go. Okay. Y'all thought I was about to freestyle, huh? Not my skill set. But welcome back to STROK'D, the Art of Mental Stimulation, where I touch subjects at depths that most people aren't willing to go. I keep it really raw and honest. I don't hold back. What you hear is what you get. And for those who don't know, you have D-Love on the mic with you today. It is truly about to be experienced. The STROK'D experience, of course. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe, analytics and everything. Make sure you buckle up, man. You're about to go on a ride. You're about to go on a ride. I assure you that you may have heard it all before, but not quite like this. I promise you haven't heard it like this. All right? So get ready. Brace yourself. At STROK'D, STROK'D _ the podcast. At STROK'D, STROK'D _ the podcast. You can find us on all social media. Ride that wave with me. Ride that wave with me because I am ready. This topic I'm talking about today, oh man, I'm ready for this one. I'm always ready, but this one resonates with me. This one resonates with my soul, with my spirit. God is driving that vehicle today. I'm just a passenger. I'm buckling up. I'm letting him do his thing. I'm letting God use me, man. But get ready because I'm ready. And of course, you know what time it is. It's time to get stroked up. I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. I have a question for you guys. How many older siblings are tuning in right now? How many people had the privilege of being an older sibling as they grew up? Man, it was amazing, wasn't it? Or did they get on your nerves? A little bit of both. I was bringing that up because I was sitting there thinking, as an older sibling, you find yourself in a position lots of times of being a teacher to your younger siblings. You show them things because you learned before them. In my house, it was a requirement. My father you go teach them or whatever. All right. But, you have the privilege of, being that role model, teaching them different things. They look up to you. Before I go off into this story and tangent I'm about to go off into, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. I am from a small country town in Mississippi is where I grew up at. I'm talking about 2-lane highways, traffic super slow or whatever. And I remember those days. I always knew I was going to live in a big city. I desired it. I knew it was so much more outside of that city, and I yearned for it. I used to, in the country, you have those big open skies. I used to stand out under the stars, looking up at the sky, praying to God and picturing high rises and skyscrapers and everything. And I just, I wanted a little faster movement or whatever. I mean, I wanted it so bad to the point that as I learned to drive, I used to imagine that I was driving on interstates. I'm talking about 2-lane highway, super slow, no traffic at all. But I used to zoom down those roads, and I used to pretend there was a lot of traffic, and I used to zoom in and out of traffic, weaving in and out of traffic, or the pretend traffic or whatever. And I call myself preparing myself to drive on the interstate in the big cities so I would be ready and I would be prepared. And once I did go to the big cities or whatever, I was prepared. I was good. I was prepared. Everything was great. But I really used to sit there and practice that. All right, because you can't go 35, 45 on the interstate, man. That'll knock you off the road or whatever. So I caught myself getting ready for that. But my younger sibling, she spent more time in the city that we actually grew up in. So, I always found myself in that teaching position. I always prepared her for things in other areas of the world that I experienced before her. It wasn't the same thing when it came to driving on the interstate. She wasn't used to that. So she was a little afraid, worried about her anxiety. You see 8, 9 lanes and people just zoom and I can understand why she had that fear. So I had to find a way to break it down to her to make her understand, to make her comfortable with doing it, to resonate with her spirit, to kind of calm her down. So I said, when you're driving in the lane, the key to doing this and driving on the interstate and not freaking out, is only pay attention to your lane. Don't pay attention to where everyone else is going. Don't pay attention to the twists and turns they're going through and the racing beside you, whatever. Look straight ahead. Of course, be prepared for, obstacles, defensive driving, if people, jump out in front of you or whatever, but focus on your lane. Don't focus on no one else's journey. Just focus on your own. And I was sitting there thinking about that. I said, that goes along in life as well. That applies to life as well. A lot of times we get caught up in the journey that other people have and what they have going on. We are distracted by that. We see other people so-called reaching success before us. We see other people going through their journey with seemingly no roadblocks. And, we like, why is this always happening to me? And, things always happen to me. I'm always at a standstill. I'm always at this point. You focus on this other person's journey, and you're not realizing that maybe they're not going the same place that you're going. Maybe they're not going the same place that you're going. And guess what's happening? Your focus is off in the direction that they're going, and you're not looking right in front of you. So you're paying attention to them. You're following them on a path that's not even yours. So we have to be mindful of that in life. We can't get sidetracked like that. Imagine that wherever we're going, whatever our purpose is, and whatever God has for us, that if we just simply pay attention to our own lane, and it's going to have roadblocks. It's going to have turns that you're not expecting or whatever. But if you strictly pay attention to your lane and what's going on right in front of you, and overcoming the obstacles right in front of you, and the roadblocks right in front of you on your path, you'll be good to go. But in this world today, I can understand how that is kind of hard, because a lot of stuff, they have it looking all glamorous, and, their journey looks, more, I won't say pretty, beautified or whatever. It just looks easier or whatever. And you look at yours, and it's like, man, why me? Why I have to climb up this hill? Theirs is flat. They have a straight path or whatever, but you're not going alongside them the entire time. You didn't see a couple curves they had to take. You didn't see when they got the flat tire. You didn't see when they had the blowouts or whatever. All you saw was they were zooming, going a little bit faster than you, and you want to know, how do I get there? How do I do that? But maybe your journey right now, you're going a little slower than everybody else because, there's a reason for it. It's things you're supposed to learn. It's things you are supposed to accomplish along the way on your journey to get you to where you are supposed to go. And who knows, they might start out fast, zooming or whatever, and their path may require them to slow down a little bit. Their path might require them to go west instead of east one day. But all you see is, them zooming ahead of you. You see them going a different way on a seemingly more glamorous path, and that may not be the case at all. Even if your path is a little more bumpier, God can have a few more lessons for you on your journey, because those are the things those are the skills you need to acquire in order to get where you have to go, what he has for you. Who knows? He could have something just colossal, big, waiting for you, and all this stuff along the way. You're going to need all these tools. You're going to need all these lessons. You're going to need all these things to perform at your highest level of what you need to do to where he's taking you, or where you're going. So we have to be mindful of that, man. Be mindful of that. Only pay attention to where you're going. This is a marathon, not a race. This is a marathon, not a race. Then you're looking at the vehicle they go in. They got more resources than me, and I'm driving a Pinto, and they're driving a Corvette type of thing. But you don't know, they could be driving that Corvette with $5 worth of gas in it. All right? I'm just using these analogies or whatever. Stay focused on where you have to go. Knock down anything that comes in front of you one step at a time, 1 mile at a time. It's all tailored to you. It's all tailored to you. I think God has a purpose for each and every one of us. And we get so caught up in distractions and what other people have going on that we lose sight of where we're going. You really have to have tunnel vision. You have to have tunnel vision. And when I speak to you guys, I speak from experience. I have had dark moments when I was in those moments, and I wasn't appreciative of what I had going on right in front of me at the time, because I thought it was small compared to things that other people had going on, and I thought I was more equipped than they were. And I won't say jealous. I don't think I've ever had a jealousy bone in my body, but I did have that why me in my spirit. Why me? When is my time going to come? When is my time going to come? And as I said before, patience is my test that I'm working on right now. I passed the other test, but patience is my test right now. When I tell you, that's the hardest one for me, because I like instant gratification. I like things now. I like it to happen right now. I'm actually reading a book on patience right now. That's how serious. So you have to do that self-work to tackle the things that's going on that's stopping you to getting to where you have to go, that next level. You have to figure out what it is, number one. And I think most of us, and I said before, we already know what it is. We know what we struggle with. We know what it is. So you have to be mindful of that. Take heed, actually do the work to figure it out. Maybe you're driving that car and your car is trucking along because maybe you need to go get an oil change. But you're paying attention to the other people and wondering why they're driving so smoothly, and you're not realizing certain things on your vehicle is falling apart. All right, so we have to do that maintenance as well, right? You got to do that maintenance as well. But the future that's ahead of you is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's so bright. But, we let the everyday things in everyday life get to us. And it's hard. I know it's a lot of stimulation going on around us. It's a lot of things going on around us. There's a lot of distractions around us. It seems like when you got one thing under your belt, here goes another one. You're being stressed thin. Your mind is all over the place because you got to handle so many things. We have to learn how to streamline this stuff. Streamline it so our focus can be right in front of us. Even with a lot of things going on, tackle one of them at a time. But look forward on your path. Use that GPS. Realize where you're going. Figure out that destination, number one. A lot of us don't know where we're going. We just living life aimlessly. Just living life with no direction, and just going ahead and hoping for something to happen or whatever. But we're not intentionally living to make it happen. But focus on you. I want you to take account of everything that you have going on and all the things you need to get to where you want to go. Like, actually sit down one day, get your notebook, your journal. I think everybody should have one. So if you don't own a notebook or a journal, go out and buy one. They have them at your local dollar stores, Dollar Generals, whatever. Walmart even have them for an affordable price or whatever. I think everyone should have one of those to jot your thoughts. Put them in front of you where you can see them. Make them come to life. Actually write that destination and where you're trying to go in your life. What's your ultimate goal? Where are you headed? And you write down the steps. Research whatever you need. Write down the steps of what it would take to get you to where you need to go. And don't be afraid to be innovative. Don't be afraid to be a trailblazer. Don't be afraid to be the originator. Everything started with something. So if you think a path that's already carved out is not the one for you, make it your own. Like they say, build your own table. Make it your own. All right? You get out there and you carve out your own path and go for it. But still, write down the steps you're going to take to get there and stick with it. Stick with it. Like I said, you might be on your path and get somewhere and the road is closed and you're like, oh my God, I didn't expect this or whatever. Now you got to figure out another way. Same thing. Okay, this road is closed. Let me research and see another way to get there. And when you figure out another way to get there, you do the same thing. Tunnel vision. You stay on that path no matter what's going on around you. Don't get distracted by the good or the bad going on around you. Only focus on your path because that can also get you down. It's not always the good that's going on and be like, oh my God, why is their life so great? It can also be, oh my God, they're trying the same thing that I want to do, and look what's happening to them. They're failing. They're not making it. I'm scared now. Maybe I shouldn't even try because if they couldn't do it and they couldn't get there and they had these roadblocks, maybe I can't do it either. But who's to say your path isn't laid straight? Who's to say on this part of your journey, everything's supposed to sail smoothly? It's tailor-made to you. You're not the same as the person next to you. You can have the same dream. You can look alike. You can have the same educational background and all of that type of stuff. But your path is still different. No one's path is exactly the same, I assure you. There's going to be something different along the way. So you have to focus. Tune out all of that stuff, man. Tune it all out and stick with the path. Stick with the beaten path that is yours, that has been tailor-made to you. Until you get to that point where you have to revamp and choose another direction or whatever. But you'll know when that is. Until that happens, you keep moving forward. Until God directs you to do otherwise, you keep moving forward. Even if forward is up a hill and then you come back down and the road is flat or whatever. You do what you have to do and stay consistent and stay on it. And eventually you're going to get to your destination. And it's okay to sightsee sometimes. You ever take a trip and a road trip and you stop off on the side to admire some things and all that stuff? It's okay to sightsee sometimes, but make sure you stay on your path. All right? Make sure you stay on it. Don't let anyone get in your ear. Don't let anyone try to alter your path or your destination to where you're trying to go unless God is telling you otherwise. Because they're not going to have the same vision as you. Like I said, they can have the same credentials, same everything that you have, but their path is totally different. So they're giving you insight from their own experiences, their own path. It's okay to take heed and to listen to it because it could help you along the journey. You might get to something that someone mentioned along the way and you're like, oh, I heard about that, and you're aware of it and you take heed and you do what you have to do. But stay on your own path. I don't know how much I can say that because throughout life, what I'm doing right now, I am a life purpose coach. And I had a calling to do that, oh my God, long ago. And one day I'm going to share this notebook with you guys where I did a brainstorm map of what I wanted to do. I had the name of the business, and I had the little lines and other bubbles breaking down how I was going to get there and what I was going to do and what I had to do. And throughout life, I went on a different path than what I had written and what God put inside of me. I was doing other things, and I knew I had to come back to what God instructed me to do. It always brought me back no matter what. I go off and try this stuff and let me do it this way. I'm going to do it this way, trying to do it my way. I had no control, but I thought I did. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. And every time I tried to do it another way, I still ended right back where I was supposed to be. Like right now, I'm a life purpose coach, and I went all other avenues, taking trips that I see other people take. Oh, my God, they're making so much money doing that. Let me go do that, because what I'm doing right now, I'm not reaping the benefits and I'm not reaping the rewards like they are. Let me go that way. And in the end, I learned lessons going that way, but it also prolonged me from getting to where I need to go. In the end, of course, they say you end up where you're supposed to be at the time you're supposed to be there anyway. But I think, God gives us options, and he gives us sign because we have free will. And he, opened these doors for us, and he tells us to go, and we hesitate, and we do other things or whatever. So I think it kind of slows up the process at times. But he is aware of what we're going to do at the same time. He already know, she's not going to choose that path. I told her it was ready. All right, she's second guessing, though. All right, maybe in a few more years. All right, when we talk about all the time that we don't have much time. So when you have those doors of opportunity open for you, you can't let that fear get in your way. You can't let that fear get in the way. All right? Keep your eyes right in front of you. See that light at the end of the tunnel? That light is God. He's directing you. He's pointing you in the direction that you have to go. Just be ready to do the work. When they say faith without work is dead, do the work. It's not going to be easy. It's the process. It's going to be hard along the way. But then you're going to have some times where you're just selling, and you're going to be feeling so good. You're going to be feeling great. And throughout all my years in sales, I have more than decades in sales. That's what I'm natural. My natural gift is sales as well. And throughout all those years in sales, I just knew that I would utilize those sales one day. But, I just wasn't a big fan of them. I knew I utilized them. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I did what other people were doing because, a lot of money was coming out of sales. But God told me otherwise all the time. He was like, you're going to help people. You're going to help people. You're going to help them get to where they got to go. You're going to help them see me clear. You're going to help them, clear the path and see their own path. You're going to help them remove the stuff, remove the noise, remove the distractions. And, I kept going back to, I don't like sales, but, I'm good at it. It's quick money. I'm good at it. And I kept doing it, and I end up right here where I'm supposed to be still. So let's not prolong the trip. Get on it. Like I say, we never know, what tomorrow promises. But there is a promise in God that if you listen to him and you do his will, that you have abundance and fulfillment ahead of you. And that's guaranteed. You have abundance and fulfillment ahead of you, and the process is going to be hard, and the process is going to be bumpy. You're going to cry some tears. You're going to have people telling you to stop. You're going to have people tell you it's not worth it. It's going to be just chase your dreams, man. Chase who you are inside. Do that thing that you do effortlessly and just that you feel good about it, that you sleep well at night and you're not stressed, you relax, and you can have all of that. Because when you're on your path, even within adversity, it feels good because you know that you're headed towards your destination. All right? You know you're headed towards that destination that's been put inside of you. How many of you are currently operating your gift, the gift that you've known for a long time, maybe since you were a kid? How many of you are actually currently operating in that gift? Take inventory right now of what you're doing in your life. Are you currently operating or taking steps towards what you're supposed to be doing and who you truly are? Are you? And I also want you to stop and think, if you do decide to do that right now, if you're not and you do decide to do it, what would be the first step? What would be the first thing that you have to do? I brought this up on the Vibe for 5, and I said that, but I want to bring it in now. I said I was going to deep dive. What is the first step? What would you have to do? And I told you guys your challenge was to do one thing towards that goal. I don't care how big or small. Right now, I'm going to put it on your mind. Step number 1. All right? Think of that thing that you want to do, that you really want to do, you really want to be, you'll be the most happy or whatever. What is step number 1? And if you feel like step number 1 is too challenging or too big for you to accomplish right now, what you're going to do is you're going to take that step number 1 and you're going to break that step number 1 down into tiny pieces. I don't care if you have to break it down into 2 pieces, 5 pieces, whatever. Break that first step down into tiny pieces in order to accomplish that first step. But we have to get going. We have to do it. Let's get rid of the distractions. Let's get rid of – we're in the rat race. We're in the rat race. There's a lot going on, man. It's constant distractions, whether we're on social media. I promise you, if I didn't have to get on social media for business, I probably wouldn't be on there as much. Some days it just gets on my nerve and I want to log off, but I was like, I have to be on here. I have to be on here to put my content out, to put my voice out there. And you guys, do the same. Put your voice out there. Do not be afraid to be heard. If you had those deep thoughts and those thoughts that, you never share with anyone because you were embarrassed, you'd be looked at as weird and all that type of stuff, do it anyway. I used to keep it all to myself. I used to pour it into my sister. Like, I could tell my sister a story or bring up something. She'd be like, I remember that. Every time I said, I remember that. I was like, dang, you listen. You really listen. All right, so this is about you. You have one life. Of course, you have other responsibilities and other people within that life, but this is about you. They all have their own individual lives as well. You help them build a foundation for theirs, but this is about you. Look straight ahead, tunnel vision, put your eyes on that prize because you can have it. You can have it. It's there for a reason. All right? You wouldn't even be taking a trip if it wasn't where you were meant to go. It's there for a reason. You wouldn't have that burning desire inside of you to go there. I promise you, you wouldn't. No one is having that same burning desire as you. No one. No one is meant to do it as you do it. You might look at it like everybody's taking this trip and everybody's doing this thing and everybody's going this exact same way. Is there room for me? Is there room for me? Nobody's going to do it quite like you, I promise you. No one is going to put that touch on it like you're going to put that touch on it. No one's going to put that stamp on it like you're going to put that stamp on it. You don't have to have a gigantic, big audience. Just cater towards your audience. Cater towards the people that you're meant to touch and affect. That's it. That's it. All right? The people who's supposed to be around you, who's supposed to be in your life and supposed to be on your path, they're going to be there. The people that's supposed to open the right doors, the road could be blocked off, and when you pull up, all the cones and stuff are moved out the way because you're VIP on that journey. It's tailored to you. It's yours. God made that for you. It's yours. All right? You might get the green light when everyone else is getting the red light. So don't tune in to other people's journey. You can take heed. You can look at some stuff and learn from it to implement on your own, so you can be aware of certain things, but stay focused. Stay focused. I always say you're the head, not the tail. Stay focused. None of us are meant to be mediocre. Stay focused. You're not. There's abundance waiting for you at your destination. Stay focused. Keep pushing ahead. There's a reason for you. Someone's supposed to be touched by you. Stay focused, man. It's some things that's not getting done in life because you're afraid to take the trip. You're afraid to take that trip that's planned just for you, and there's certain things that you're supposed to start off. You're supposed to be the catalyst to start something off to make some things happen. And you're playing small because you're thinking you're small, because you're looking at the world and it's so big and there's so many people, man. Man, you matter. We need you. What you have inside of you, where you're going, we need you. It's like a race. You ever see the Olympic races and the relay races? They're running and they need their partner. They have to pass the baton on. Man, everything matters. Every step matters. You're needed. You're needed. It's a ripple effect. You're needed. You ever throw that rock in that pond and you see those ripples like that? You're needed. All right, so stay focused. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. There's people counting on you. There's people counting on you, man. It's an opportunity sitting right there with your name on it. Your purpose is needed. It is needed. So right now, I told you before, get that journal, get that book, put step 1 in that book, write step 1 out, and let's get ready to get to work. Let's get ready to get to work. Step 1 is the first stop on that trip. It's the first stop on that trip. So let's drive there. Let's drive to step 1. Let's knock it out. Let's get it done. Let's get to step 2. Let's go to our next destination along this path that is yours. You are unique. I know it may seem like you're not. You're unique. You have something that you offer that no one else has. I don't care what roadblocks, what mistakes you've made or whatever. Come out of that. That's all meant to be distractions as well. God's sitting back watching and seeking you overcome that. How big is your belief? How big is your belief in God? Do you believe he can help you overcome anything? How big is your belief? You better not let that make you sit there. on the side of the road, you better get up and call AAA or get down there and fix that flat tire yourself. You have YouTube on that phone. YouTube, how to fix a flat tire. The fastest way possible. Look for that 3-minute video. And you sit there and you wipe those tears and you sit there and you put that tire on there and you get back on that road and you keep going. You do not stop. You keep going no matter what. There's going to be tests and everything thrown at you. There's going to be people who are looking at you and they're going to be envious because you're taking the trip that they're afraid to take. You're taking the trip. Instead of using that, as motivation that if they could do it, I could do it too, it's jealousy over there. You cannot let that type of stuff get in your way. You cannot. That's on them personally. It has nothing to do with you. What other people are going through have nothing to do with us. That's on them. Stay focused, tunnel vision. All right? So when I get off this episode, when I get off this mic, I want you to pull out that notebook. I want you to pull out that notebook and write step 1 on it. And write down step 1. And you sit there and you measure how big you think step 1 is. I don't think it's too big for you, but you know the time you have in your life and the things that you're doing and have going on. Break step 1 down if you have to. But let's go ahead and start with step 1. It's time. All right? No more excuses. It is time. When you leave this world, you want to say you left trying, you left doing something. Like I said before, you have to leave a blueprint. You have to leave the blueprint to the people behind you, kids, family, whatever. Especially if you're the one that is the calling is on the most and is really pushing you the most, and you're the one that's meant to make everyone in your family believe and all your friends believe. I mean, it's up to you. You have to do what you have to do. All right? I said I wasn't going to keep you guys long, but lately I've been getting up to 30 minutes on this thing, man. It's been moving through me. It's been moving through me. I got off on a tangent a little bit off in there somewhere. Somewhere I got off in there. I forgot, but I was zoned out. I forget what I'm talking about sometimes, but you know how to put it together, piece it together, whatever. All right? But I enjoyed it, and I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. My purpose is to help other people find their purpose and believe in themselves and know that they can do it and know that they're not alone and there's other people out there like you. All right? The atmosphere episode that we had. Get the right community around you, the right people. Sometimes you're in the depths of despair or whatever because everyone around you is negativity. They're not believing. And you're falling into that because that's all you hear. That's it. Put yourself around the right people, man. Find the right communities. And, of course, I'm always here for you. Don't be afraid to reach out to me if you need to. I have those free 15-minute strategy calls or discovery calls, just to talk, to figure out what you're trying to do, what your goals is, and, where you're trying to go. And, that's absolutely free just to see where your head at. You might get pointed in the right direction or whatever, but don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'm definitely here for you. This is my purpose. I get joy out of it. Don't think you're bothering me. I get joy from it, for real. And I'm on this path, and it's rough sometimes, and it's hard sometimes, but then it's so great sometimes. All right? It's amazing sometimes. And I have more ups than I do downs. But regardless, I'm still on this path, and I'm still on this journey, and I'm still going to drive along this road. And come on, take a trip, man. Get in your own lane right beside me. Let's go. We might go off in different directions, man, but hopefully we're both heading to the destination. And I said both as if I'm really just talking to one person because I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. You right there tuned in? I'm really talking to you. I'm serious. You know who I'm talking to. I'm talking to you. Not the world. I'm talking to you. All right? I love you guys, man. I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Take heed to this episode. I promise you. Take heed to it. Take some active steps to get to where you have to go. Live life. Breathe freely. Find peace. Find joy in the things that really matter. Don't look at the things that don't really matter. That stuff will come to you automatically along the way on your journey. If you, living towards God and what He has promised for you, that abundance is coming anyway. So don't get stressed out over that. Do it for the love of what your purpose and what you like doing, and the rest is going to come. All right? But, of course, what just happened to you. What just happened to you? Do you know? You just got stroked up. Bye.